Hello, my name is Logan Witt. I am a cybersecurity intern for the Office of Information Technology Systems, and today I'm going to be overviewing credit card threats and the methods you can use to protect yourself from them. The credit card in the past decade has gone through many changes. What used to be a simple type of device that only took a swipe can now be wirelessly tapped on almost any payment terminal. And this isn't even mentioning Apple and Google Pay, virtual cards that let you use your phone to pay like a card. So, what spurred this rapid change? Well, the answer is simple, really: criminal activity. And these criminal threats are still active. So, to best protect ourselves, we need to be informed about the threats at hand and the best methods to counteract them. In this presentation, I'll be overviewing the types of credit cards that exist in the market, the types of threats that can attack your credit card information, and what you can do to prevent these attacks from affecting you. Firstly, let's go over the different types of credit cards. There are four card types out there. There are magstripe cards. These are the cards that only have a black magnetic strip, which holds static, unchanging information about the card itself. They require verification to process, either a PIN or a signature, and all in all, they're extremely basic, and as you'll see, extremely vulnerable. Next are the chip cards. These cards use a chip to interact with the payment terminal. What makes these cards different from magstripe cards is that the information they hold on them is dynamic. What they transmit to the terminal changes on each transaction, and as a result, it is much more secure. Lastly, for physical cards, you have contactless cards. These communicate wirelessly on a payment terminal through RFID, or radio frequency identification. These also have a unique set of encryption on them that makes them safer than pure magstripe cards. A physical credit card can be all three at once. It can have a magstripe, contain a chip, and allow for tap to pay contactless payments. Then there's your last card type, virtual cards. These are the cards that you use when you tap to pay from your phone. They can potentially represent physical cards, but they are not copies, as no direct banking information is stored on your phone or the device that you use. This is, for example, your Apple Pay, your Google Pay, as well as peer-to-peer payment apps like Venmo and Cash App, among plenty of others I did mention. So, how do criminals target these cards? What are the threats you need to look out for that target your credit cards? Firstly, let's talk about card skimming. As stated previously, magstripe cards are extremely vulnerable, and it has to do with the fact that the information stored on the magstripe is static. It does not change, and that is a serious threat. Because if someone were to intercept that information and gather your PIN, they have the card. Lo and behold, that is exactly what criminals do. They set up fake readers and fake PIN pads on top of the existing ones, and while you insert your card and put in your PIN, they get all of the information they need to create as many clones of that card as they want. These attacks are still prevalent and extremely dangerous. They primarily occur at public ATMs or gas stations, but can occur on any payment terminal. To help protect yourself, don't be afraid to physically check the device before inserting your card. Feel the pin pad buttons. If they feel off or too mushy, it could be a sign of tampering, so inspect carefully. Due to this incredibly simple way to clone cards, chip cards were created. This added a layer of security that established a level of protection to the transaction process. However, as technology has advanced, so too has criminals' methods. And now, chip cards are starting to go under attack as well, with a method called card shimming. Card shimming works almost exactly the same way as skimming, except it reads the chip data on a credit card. And through the information the chip gives, it is able to receive enough data to create magstripe clones of the card. These shimmers are extremely thin and small, making them difficult to spot in a payment reader. So, to protect yourselves from shim scams, check the inside of payment terminals for anything suspicious before using them. Lastly, for physical cards, we have contactless cards. Contactless cards are unique in that they cannot be cloned through pure scanning. They have a chip or a magstripe, they could be targeted in that way, but through the contactless payment system they have, they cannot be directly cloned. However, that does not make them infallible or secure, because they still have a lot of vulnerabilities. Firstly, because of the way contactless cards work through RFID, almost any modern smartphone can interact with them. And through this interaction, they can potentially get the card number, the name on the card, and the expiration date within seconds of close proximity. And that is enough, at least at sub websites, to make online purchases. A way to prevent unwanted criminals from scanning your card information is through RFID blocking technology, like RFID blocking wallets or card sleeves. This prevents anyone from walking around from remotely scanning your card information. However, this does not prevent point-of-sale attacks directly at the terminal. So, like anything else, check the terminal for anything physically in your device that looks suspicious. Lastly, what about cards like Apple virtual cards, like Apple and Google Pay? To start, the way that payment information is stored on the device is different than it being an actual physical card. What it sends is different, therefore it can't be really intercepted or attacked in a similar manner as contactless cards. However, still check for any suspicious device before paying at a terminal through a virtual card. Instead, the primary way criminals attack virtual cards is through social engineering methods. Criminals target emotions like fear and anxiety to get you to make rash decisions like clicking an untrustworthy link or sending money in fear of losing something. That could be your bank account, your Apple account, etc. This can be through either Google or through either email, text, or call, and is incredibly rampant. These threats include fake Apple Google support requests asking for payment, fake multi-factor authentication requests that ask you to verify info, Apple Cash send scams where the criminals will randomly send you an amount of money and ask you to send back a quote-unquote refund amount, and plenty more. To protect yourself from these scams, do not click on any random links sent or send any money to any random account, even if they claim they are Apple or Google or some government official. These companies will never ask you to send money in this way. If you do receive any of these scams, firstly, do not interact with them. Then you may potentially contact Apple, Google, or whatever company you use for virtual cards or what the criminal claims to be, and inform them about what was sent so that way you can get direct verification. Only use their official websites though, and do not click on any links if they were to send to say, please go on our official website through this link. Go on their official websites outside of the message that was sent. To wrap things up, here are some other methods of protection you can add to prevent these threats or scams from affecting you. You can turn off your card on your banking app of choice whenever not in use. Receive bank alerts that notify you of any transactions, allowing you to check for suspicious ones, and make sure to check your transaction history often to verify that any unauthorized transactions have not occurred. In conclusion, stay vigilant for threats. If you have any magstripe only cards that you use frequently, I recommend you heavily for you to get them to upgrade it to either a chip or contactless card version of that card. If you have contactless cards and don't have an RFID wallet, I would strongly recommend that you purchase one too, especially if you were to go out to a public event. Don't be afraid to physically check payment terminals. You never know what could be hidden in plain sight. And lastly, please do not click on any unauthorized links or pay anything in any random text, call, or email, even if they claim to be from Apple or Google or some verified trusted individual. At the very least, contact support on their official websites to confirm. Thank you for listening.